minimalism is something I've been doing for like quite some time. That's also why I wanted to share some lessons with you, which I've learned, which you can apply in your self improvement journey. Like, for example, and this is like the first lesson, is that non minimalists slash maximalists, they put in a lot of effort, as you can see in this image, right? They throw like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrows, right? But none of them hits the target. Like none of them do. So basically, right, they try a lot, but they fail. Now, in what context do I mean this, right? Like, how do they fail? Well, they'll just try and make purchases, but none of them have value. And like the more inward the spiral goes, like the more value you gain, right? Like the more points you gain, if you understand. Like you can make this a game, bro. Like how can I get the most value out of my purchase? It's like, and for example, from 1 out of 10 to 10 out of 10, how much value did I get out of this purchase? Like quite a lot, man. And I'll probably give this like an 8. How much value did I get out of this thing? Probably a 4 because I don't really use it. And it's kind of for my parents, right? Like, I don't technically own this, so it's okay. So a minimalist slash an essentialist, right? Like what this type of person would do is he would like think really, really much about the purchases he makes or she makes, and kind of just make more intentional purchases, right? Like he or she wouldn't just go to a supermarket without like a list, right? Like they wouldn't do this, right? Because then you think, oh yeah, this is nice, this is nice, this is nice, right? Like, oh, that could be tasty, right? Like, they don't do this. Another thing they don't do is like going on to like TikTok shop, for example. Like you don't do this either because you're on self-improvement. Like I'm just talking about the average person, like the average non-minimalist and the average minimalist, right? Like they would just go on TikTok shop like the normal person and just purchase stuff from there because somebody said like, oh no, you need this because you do, and then you actually don't, and it doesn't help you. And for the minimalist, he obviously doesn't do this. But this is just an example. Something else. Where do you rather want to live? These are two extreme examples, and these are also two extreme examples. Like, sure, I need to make this video somehow engaging. But yeah, so this is like a maximalist interior, and this is a hoarder's interior. Like, this is a horrible way to live. It truly is. But yeah, so you would obviously not want to live here because there's like no place to rest your soul. There's also no way to rest here because you'll constantly be scared of just like tripping over stuff falling onto you. Like if this chair breaks, this guy is dead. Like I mean, it's an extreme way to live. And you probably know some people who live kinda like this and kinda like this, but not as extreme. But you probably also know someone who lives somewhat like this, right? Like who doesn't really have much things like here, but makes good use of them. They often don't live in like the biggest house because they don't need to. They don't uh, consume much because they don't use the things they would otherwise consume if they weren't minimalists. So you probably rather want to live here. And the thing is, like, money doesn't even play a role. Like many people think like, oh, this interior, it looks way too expensive for me. But if you were to sell all of this, if this person, right, if this person were to sell like this backpack, these two, like, also like backpacks. I mean, they're not backpacks. I guess they're like travel cases, and here another one. yeah, these pretty decent headphones as well, right? And then like a mic. Is this a microwave? No. This is like a television. This is also like an old television. Like I'm sure some retro gamer would want this. A nice vacuum cleaner. Um, PC here. Some paper shredder. Like if you were to sell all of these things, which is definitely possible, like even this like retro radio, right? This is value here for somebody, not for this person, but you can get a lot of money for these things, and most people don't even realize that, who are like kind of like these people. But then you'll easily be able to pay for all of these things, right? Like if you're on self-improvement like me, like maybe not the television, right? But an interior like this isn't really, or like a room like this, like mine, for example, it's really not that far out of reach, right? And the funny thing is, right, like many billionaires are in some ways minimalists. Steve Jobs has worn like the same outfit for pretty much 20 years of his life. Mr. Beast lives in like a pretty cheap house. Like 300k isn't like something the average family wouldn't be able to afford. Elon Musk, like the richest man on earth, lives in a 50k house, like a tiny house. It's funny, isn't it? There is definitely an element of abundance in living small. It's all about efficiency. I wanted to buy like this fast charger from like Anchor, I believe. It costs like $130 or like 120 euros. Quite expensive for a charger, to be honest. But for me, it would be really useful because I wanted to buy like a laptop instead of my PC. I would probably just sell my PC to my father. I'd buy like a laptop and I'll just put it like off the side of my desk. So there will be a lot less wires then, which is nice. And I can also take this laptop away for like trips if I want to work on vacation, for example. I'll be able to work in a cafe so I can talk to people whilst working. But then again, I would need that charger to, charge my laptop constantly because I don't want my laptop to basically fall out mid call. Like if I'm calling somebody, I don't want my laptop to just shut down. Like that's kind of embarrassing. So I don't want that. And another benefit is that I can charge, like I could charge like my earbuds at the same time as like my smartwatch. I could charge my phone at the same time as well. My microphone, like all of these things I will be able to charge at the same time. So that's a lot of efficiency there. Like it's quality over quantity. And if you think that quantity is better than quality, you probably have a scarcity mindset. You think that you need to have a lot of things, which isn't true. Like having more doesn't mean having more value. It often means having more struggles, more problems, and more clutter, which isn't a good thing. And also having more responsibilities, more stress, all of these bad things, right? Like stuff has a cost. So this is kind of like the maximalist matrix, right? Like I'd like to call it that, right? The maximalist versus minimalist matrix. Like maximalists have more stuff, more internal clutter, more feelings of wanting, and more distractions. I'll explain that later if I have the time. They have less peace, efficiency, gratefulness, focus, money, creativity, and space. And for the minimalist, it's the complete opposite. Now, stuff is obvious, right? Internal clutter, maybe not as much. But if there's like a lot of outside clutter, or there's a lot of stuff in your house or in like something you possess and you have responsibility over, that'll cause even mental health symptoms, like bad mental health symptoms. You will get feelings of wanting because you're used to buying things a lot. You'll have a lot of distractions because your eye wants to focus on a lot of things and your mind is constantly like busy with all of these items. So you have less peace, less efficiency because you don't think about your purchases. You have less gratefulness because you're constantly buying. You don't really have the time to be grateful. Less focus and therefore less money. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, of course. But yeah, I mean, you probably won't get a raise if you can't focus on your work. So yeah, and you also have more space, of course, if you are a minimalist. Also, relationships in like a minimalist way of thinking would be, for example, that you do not make materialism your way of becoming friends with somebody. Minimalism in the way of relationships would also mean you having less friends but having really good friends is better than having a lot of bad friends. Like, that makes sense, right? Minimalism in a sense of relationships would mean that you wouldn't go on like as many dates if you like dating at all. I'm not, because I'm 16, but you wouldn't go on like many dates, but you would be really well prepared for the ones you do go on. And you would only get into a relationship with somebody if you know you are capable of it. And yeah, if you need some help with going from this to this, and it's making like the mental transition, I also have a community for that. Like, not for that, but just a self-improvement community. So mental health is also on there, and I can personally coach you one-on-one to improve your mental health.